We got another video. You want to watch? This is PragerU. This is PragerU. One more, talking about Watergate and how it wasn't really that big a deal. At least that's how it was sold to me. We'll see. We'll see. This is PragerU's Watergate video.
The most famous political scandal in American history is, of course, Watergate. It's so famous that even now, 50 years after it happened, almost every scandal of any kind comes with an obligatory gate after it. If you ask most people to explain what Watergate was all about, they draw a blank.
Really?
If they know a bit of history, or perhaps they lived through it, they might say something like this. It was about a bungled break-in that brought down a president.
Sort of.
That's true, but the break-in is the least significant part of the story. Watergate was first and foremost a political war between the president, Richard Nixon, and the media, which in those pre-cable days meant ABC, CBS, NBC, the New York Times, and the Washington Post.
Okay, so first of all, this is not a good thing. The president should not be going against the estate of the media. Wow. Okay. Hugh Hewitt, gotta love him. I'm a walking, talking corpse. Whimpers and history teacher. Okay. All right. No. Let's keep going.
The media's aim, in the words of British historian Paul Johnson, was to use publicity to reverse the electoral verdict of 1972. Why? What did the media have against Nixon? That's a complex question, but we can essentially boil it down to three things. One, he was despised by the East Coast liberal elite,
Jesus
of which
fucking...
the Washington press corps was a key component.
Hold on. They're saying that the Watergate was like a righteous war. Okay. So the president of the United States had illegal wiretaps for the Democratic National Committee or Democratic Party headquarters, right? They had illegal wiretaps. They were trying to they broke constitutional law. They broke laws. No. You can't no. And he famously was like, you can't, I'm above the law and shit. Like, oh my God, dude.
Key component. Two, he was a staunch anti-communist.
Who gives a shit?
The media considered the communist threat to be overblown.
Yes, it was.
Three, he refused to abandon South Vietnam.
Yeah, that's bad. It's a bad thing. What? No, that's but that was bad. When a president does it, it's not illegal.
Nixon insisted on a peace with honor.
What?
The media was entirely anti-war.
Yes. Well, yeah. What do you mean? What? How do you not? He ran on a platform for getting out of it. It's a shame people like this don't play D&D. They're good at making up fantasy worlds. That's true. Nixon stunks.
Even though Nixon spent most of his adult life in New York and Washington, he never fit in.
Well,
Born in a small town in California, there were no Ivy League degrees on his resume.
who cares? What? Richard Nixon was not a fucking low-born hero trying to rise up the ranks. What are you talking about? Hold on, let's go to Richard Nixon's fucking like early life. Richard Milhouse Nixon was born in 1913 in California in a house built by his father on his family's lemon ranch. He had primary and secondary education. He went to law school. He was offered a tuition grant to attend, it's not an Ivy League, Harvard University. So he remained home and did in Whittier College instead because his dad was sick, and he graduated summa cum laude. with a Bachelor of Arts degree in history. And then, wouldn't you know it, he went to Duke, an East Coast reputable school. He went to Duke in Durham, North Carolina, to get his School of Law degree. Come on, dude. He went to the military. Come on. In 1947, this dude went to get elected. Come on. He's not rags to riches shit here, my guy. You have to fucking get a hold of yourself. Get a goddamn hold of yourself. He was a commissioned officer. No, he didn't go to Harvard. He got an offer to Harvard, but stayed at home. Anyway.
To make matters worse, while not being a part of McCarthyism, he made his reputation aggressively exposing Alger Hiss, a communist in the U.S. State Department in the late 1940s.
Oh, no. The late 1940s? Wait a second. The late 1940s, when socialism got popular in the United States as a post-World War II response? Wow. Surprise.
After serving as vice president under Dwight Eisenhower for 8 years, he ran against and nearly defeated John F. Kennedy, the paragon of East Coast elitism in 1960.
The paragon of East Coast elitism in 1960.
Then, 8 years later, and much to the media's dismay, Nixon mounted an improbable political comeback to win that year's presidential election.
Against Lyndon B. Johnson, right?
And then, as if rubbing the media's nose in it, he won again in a 49-state landslide in 1972.
Okay. What was that? Okay.
Something had to be done. Ironically, Nixon's own people provided the opportunity the media had been waiting for. On June 17, 1972,
Johnson chose not to run for a second term? Wait, who was it? Who did he run against? Wait, you're right. You're 100% right. Who was it? Who was it the first time around? Can't remember the dude? It's driving me nuts. Now it's driving me nuts. Was it Hubert Humphrey? Was it really Humphrey? Hubert H. Humphrey. All right. Gotta love it. Fucking Humphrey, dude. All right. Yeah, the Hubert H. Humphrey Metrodome. Anyway.
5 men associated with the Nixon re-election campaign broke into the offices of the Democratic National Committee headquarters in the Watergate office building in Washington, D.C. Presumably, they intended to gather information about the Democrats' campaign strategy. Whatever their purpose, it was a painfully dumb plan that turned catastrophic when the burglars were caught in the act.
Yeah.
And arrested by D.C. police. Nixon found out about it, like everyone.
Oh, he found out about it? Come on, bro. Come on. Stop it. You gotta click with dick. That's right.
Else in the morning papers.
Really? Does anyone have a link? Do they have? Hold on. I could probably just. How long are the Watergate tapes?
The Nixon Presidential Library and Museum presents a selection from the White House tapes, Conversation 741-2, which took place on June 23rd, 1972.
This is after. Jesus Christ.
Sources, the banker stuff, and it goes some directions.
The audio quality is shit? Well, it's 1972!
Also, there's been some
So funny, dude.
Occurs now with Mitchell's recommendation that the only way to solve this, turn that off, that the way to handle this now is to basically do that.
So, anyway, so they're like, the money, the stuff. Oh, they're finding the evidence to the thing we don't want them to find. Come on. He found out in the fucking newspaper like everybody else. I mean, he might find out they got fucking caught in the newspaper. He certainly didn't find out that they were doing it in the newspaper.
Initially, he didn't think it was a big deal. I had been in politics too long, he later wrote, and had seen everything from dirty tricks to vote fraud. I could not muster much moral outrage over a political bugging. Today, most would conclude that if he had simply acknowledged his campaign's responsibility, owned it, as we say, fired those responsible and apologized, the whole sorry mess would have been rendered the minor incident it was.
A minor incident? He committed a federal crime. I can't, dude. Like this political espionage shit, like from the Nixon, from the Nixon administration, like it spans so much more than just like when they got caught, right? It has so much stuff. Like you could write a book on Watergate, and many people have, and not get the whole picture in a digestible format. It's so much. It's so much. The podcast Slow Burn, I've never actually heard that. I've watched documentaries on this. It's got so much. What is this? What is this tag in here? What are you doing? Why are you tickling me? Why are you tickling me, tag? Should I rip this tag out? I'm gonna rip it. I'm gonna get it. Get out of here, tag. Goddamn tag. Tickling my neck, titillating me in the middle of a stream.
But as historian Evan Thomas noted, Nixon wasn't paying attention, and when he was confronted with the problems below deck, he didn't really engage. By the time he did, it was too late. So the scandal grew beyond his control. Three men made sure of that: a publicity-seeking judge, a revenge-seeking FBI official,
Oh, they're all nefarious.
and a partisan special prosecutor.
And a criminal president.
The judge was John Sirica. Suspecting a vast conspiracy, Sirica threatened the burglars with lifetime prison sentences if they didn't rat out the people who authorized the crime. The media loved Sirica. For a time, he was the most famous jurist in the country. The vengeful official was FBI Deputy Director Mark Felt, known by his code name, Deep Throat. Felt thought that he deserved to become the head of the FBI, but Nixon appointed someone else. So Felt leaked a steady stream of tips to the Washington Post writing
Are you telling me that PragerU is trying to whitewash Watergate? Yes.
team of Bob Woodward and Carl Bernstein. Meeting secretly, he told them where to look and what questions to ask. Without him, the duo would have gotten nowhere.
Without their informant, the duo would have gotten nowhere. I don't know. How is that? Without evidence, they wouldn't have found anything. True. That's pretty true.
Because of him, they became folk heroes. With Sirica applying pressure from the bench and Felt from inside the FBI, the White House defenses began to weaken, then crack, and then shatter. Special Prosecutor Archibald Cox piled on.
Archibald Cox. Rabid Kitten, thanks for following.
Appointing 34 Democrat lawyers to investigate nearly every aspect of the Nixon administration.
I can't believe that they would hire legal professionals to investigate a crime. Holy shit, dude.
In April of 1973, White House counsel John Dean.
It was a perfect crime, only stopped by the fact that evidence was everywhere. True.
The chief desk officer of the cover-up turned on his boss, testifying against the president in Senate hearings before a huge national TV audience.
Toying with 50 bitties. Guess why PragerU doesn't like these three attention-seeking individuals? Wow.
The political jeopardy grew. Nixon naturally became more involved. One biographer wrote, "To Nixon, this was all routine hardball, but really this was quicksand. The more he struggled, the deeper he sank.
Because he was guilty.
He was caught in the cover-up.
He was caught.
When it emerged that many of Nixon's private conversations were recorded, his fate was sealed.
Well, yeah, they got a legal wiretap on him because he ordered a cover-up. I don't. Well, if they wouldn't have known his private conversations about the crime, then the crime he committed would still be private. Kind of the point, dude. What?
Citing
Amazing.
executive privilege, he tried to keep the tapes from Sirica and Congress.
This is
On July
amazing.
24, 1974, the Supreme Court ruled against the president.
Of course.
The support of Republican senators far from assured and deeply concerned that an impeachment trial would paralyze the country in the middle of the Cold War.
The middle of the Cold War.
Nixon was boxed in. He resigned from office on August 9th.
Good. The Oval Office had a recording system to record keeping, not a tap.
The first.
Wait. But I believe, and I could be wrong. I believe they had to request those tapes, though. The FBI and like the prosecution doesn't just get access to those, do they? For free? They had to request that, did they not? Yeah, they did have to request it. I'm not crazy. Okay. See? That's what I meant. I guess you're right. I guess I used the wrong word, tap, though.
And only
But I
president
mean,
to do so.
it was in there. You know?
The media had its victory and a newfound sense of power. The country has not been the same since.
Yeah. Country's not been the same since.
I'm Hugh Hewitt for Prager University.
Okay, dude. That's the shittiest fucking. Like that. They do a whole lot of deleting. History on PragerU. They're very good at not really what's the word? PragerU is not the most rigorous when it comes to their historical facts and standards. So yeah, this is actually Nixon actually fired the first guy to try to get him to turn over the tapes in the Saturday Night Massacre. That's what I'm recalling. Okay, yeah. It's been a while since I had to study this, so I'm glad that Captain Rachel is here, who teaches this kind of stuff. So, e-girls are real. Thanks for following. I actually never got to teach the 70s American history. I did early American history when I taught, which is a bummer. Because there's a lot of really fun stuff that happens after. Nixon's goons allegedly, but there's good evidence, kidnapped a woman trying to... Wait, what? Allegedly, Nixon's goons kidnapped a woman. Oh. Yeah, there's so much that goes into it. I mean, it also goes way back, like further in years. Way lots. Adventures in history with President Ronald Reagan. Oh, okay. What's worse, this or the Confederacy one? Wait, the Confederacy one I thought they got right. Wasn't that the one they said it was, hey, it was actually about slavery? They defended slavery. Did they defend slavery in that one? I don't remember. Did I miss your biddies, Toyn? Biddy. Almost as bad as the Robert E. Lee Sucklevitt. That one was pretty bad. Yeah. The Robert E. Lee one, yeah. That one was bad.